Hi, I'm Rihanna Dahl, and I work in the personal lines department in our West Bend office. And my engagement story goes like this. My boyfriend took me to dinner at a restaurant at Copper Dock and proposed there, but before we got to the restaurant, he snuck out earlier in the day to drop the ring off without me knowing. So we get to the restaurant, and he had reservations, and we go and sit down, order our drinks and meal, and then just randomly in the middle of our meal, the waiter comes and drops off a plate. And on the plate it has a black box and poinsettia flowers all around it. It was during Christmas time, and so he gets up and grabs the box and gets down on one knee, and I'm freaking out because I was totally not expecting it, especially there. And he asked me to marry him. Everyone in the restaurant starts clapping and freaking out and so happy for us, and my meal is then ruined. I couldn't stop, freaking out from getting engaged, and so I couldn't finish eating my meal. And we've been married for 9 years.
Hi, my name is Brooke Watzadelic. I work in the personal lines department at R&R Insurance Services in their West Bend office. And my proposal story goes like this. My fiance and I were celebrating our 2-year anniversary, and he planned a whole day for us to celebrate. So we went and we had a couples massage, and then he took me to Port Washington at Lakeside Park, and he proposed to me there. He hid the ring in my car. I had no idea that he was going to do this, and he went and grabbed it and proposed to me up on the bluffs. And then we went out to dinner after that, and we'll be getting married in September. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with him.
Hi, I'm Cindy Gierek of R&R Insurance Services. I work in personal lines in the West Bend office. This is the story of how my husband proposed to me. We planned to go out for dinner for Valentine's Day. After work, I bumped into his best friend who asked what we were doing that night, and I mentioned we're just going out for dinner. It was a Friday night, and we had double dated many times, so we decided that we would meet later. When my husband came to pick me up to go out to dinner, I told him about the change of plans. His face turned white, and he asked if I could come outside and speak to him alone. He then took me to his car, where he had a gift bag waiting for me for Valentine's Day. In the bag was a rose, partially opened, with my engagement ring. He then proceeded to propose to me. His original plan was to propose to me at dinner, but I spoiled that by bumping into his best friend. But here we are still together 33 years later, and everything's worked out.
I work in the personal lines department here at R&R Insurance, and my engagement story goes like this. My boyfriend at the time, Troy, and I had gone away for a weekend up to Door County, rented a condo, and I had planned a very nice night out with dinner and music, and we were driving back to the resort, and Troy was a little bit distant and far off, and I thought that was kind of strange, but didn't really question him on it too severely till we got back to our room, and he was insistent that I return the iron that I had borrowed to iron my outfit for that night back to the front desk. And I was kind of like, no, it's fine. And he kept saying, no, it's really important that they get it back. What if somebody else needs it? And finally I relented, and I said, okay, I'll go. When I left and came back in that time, he had turned all the lights off and lit a ton of candles and had rose petals out and a fire going in the fireplace, and got down on one knee, and I instantly knew what was happening. We'd been dating for, I think, 4 years, so I proceeded to jet my hand out very quickly, stick it in his face. I'm not sure if he had started speaking yet or not. You'll have to ask him. He asked me to marry him. Of course, I said yes, and then quickly ran to the kitchen to check my ring out, which I also loved. So we've been married 9 years. It was 10 years ago that it happened. It was a great day in my life.
Hi, my name is Steph Katzvai. I'm in the marketing department here at R&R Insurance, and this is my proposal story. My now fiance had me meet him at Moe's Irish Pub on a Friday night, which happens to be where we went for our first drinks date. From there, we went to Maxie's, which, as we were walking up to our table to be seated, I noticed, hey, this is the same exact table where we were at for our first dinner date. So from there, we had a very nice dinner where my fiance did not touch his food. And from there, we went to his apartment. I opened the door, and the staircase is full of rose petals and candles. And then I opened the door to his apartment, and the living room is filled with even more rose petals and more candles, plus a table sitting with a dozen roses, the movie Elf, because I wanted to celebrate Christmas that weekend, and a photo album full of pictures of he and I. As I was flipping through the album, crying with all these wonderful words, by the time I was done flipping through the album, he was down on one knee, and we will be married this June.